What's going on, YouTube? It is another day on Boss Smart Automotive, where we make cars very unreliable. And today we're putting an intake system on a B8.5 A4 Avant. And this is actually an insane car wagon type deal, but just gonna take the original air intake out, put it on a Ram air intake, and see what it sounds like. All right, so apparently I said it wrong. This is the B8.5 All Road. So it looks just like the Avant, but it has the wide body kit on it. I think is the difference. All right, so this intake is from CTS Turbo, and I have one on the S4 as well from CTS. All right, so first off, we have the actual filter here. This is the sensor intake as well. We have our hose piping, a couple of clamps, some air gaps here, and then we also have our giant heat shielding. All right, so the first step, we'll figure out the method, but have these little locking trim holder tabs, so we're gonna show you how to get out. But essentially, we're gonna take a little tool, push that little center circle all the way in, and then lift up. So push it in, then just take a trim tool or pry tool, and it should pop out just like this. Boom. All right, so next step, I'm not taking this off because it's kind of being difficult right now, but there's a bolt or a screw right here. This is a T25 Torx bit. Unscrew that right there. And another T25 right here as well. All right, now this whole little piece right here will slide out, so hands are filthy now. But take off this little gap here, bottom. Another one on this side, on the right side as well. That little square part. There we go. Slide this whole thing out right there. All right, next up is this pipe right here. So we have two hose clamps. So we're going to loosen these up. This is the MAF airflow right here, so make sure you're careful around that. And there's another one right here at a very peculiar angle. All right, 7mm with the extension, and this should help me get to it better. There we go. And this should just slide on up now. So we'll go there. We'll slide from here. There we go. What you want to do is twist and pull it off, and then it'll slide right on off. Next up, we can clip the MAF airflow sensor, which is right here. Take this little tab, pop it out, up just like that. You're gonna press down like this, pull straight out, just like that. Hang that to the side. Now we gotta unscrew this little Torx bit right here to the right, to the left, I mean. And hopefully that is also a T25. So yep, T27 will do it. All right, so all you gotta do now is just lift the whole airbox up and out. There's gonna be two little grommets at the bottom. Those should just pop right on out. So let's get this out first. And then this piece right here, twist it all the way to the left. Yeah, all the way to the right, and pop it on out. All right, so with the old airbox, we need a couple of things. We need the mass airflow sensor, which is sitting right here. There's two bolts, I believe, T25. And this should just wiggle right on off now. Careful with it, just like that. And last thing we need are these little grommets right here at the bottom. So these literally just slide off as well. Just slide them off. Boom. All right, cool. Next step, we're gonna get these grommets installed. So we're gonna take these giant bolts here, slide them through without stripping them, of course. Take our nut, slide it on there. And not exactly sure on where these need to sit inside of here, you know? What is going on here? Let's go ahead and tighten this down. We have a 16 for the nut somehow, and then a 15 or what is a 14 for actual bolts. This side as well. And then essentially these grommets just slide on right here. Like so. All right, next up we have the MAF airflow sensor. So this is going to go right through here, line the holes up. We're gonna take our longer bolts. Apparently these are M6 bolts, and these will slide right through where these holes are. So slide it all the way through. both sides. The other one is down here. Make sure it's aligned correctly. We're gonna take our larger nut and go ahead and lock it down in place. All right, so I got a 3/16, I think it's a hex bit. And then I have a 10mm on the back 40, the nut. And I'm just gonna get this math tightened down real quick. And 3/16 is not the exact size that I need, honestly, but it's all I have. All right, so the math is on pretty good. Next up we have this other heat shield here. It's gonna tuck in right here, just like this. And because for some reason this is not aligned properly, as you see here, I think I'm gonna push a bolt into this top one first and then have it bend this way a bit more so that it sits flush, because why is there a gap? It makes absolutely no sense at all. So what I gotta do now is I'm gonna take some vice grips and bend this back, which I shouldn't have to do in the first place, so that everything aligns. Bend this back just a tad bit. There, now it fits almost perfectly. So I'm gonna put bolts in both of these bottom ones. All right, so we're gonna need an Allen key. This is a 2.5mm, and then a, what is this, a 7mm socket. Going to install a little heat shield right here. You can put yours over or behind it. I'm gonna go over for simplicity reasons. Now we can take our 7mm socket and our 2.5mm Allen key. Go ahead and tighten these down. All right, that is on there nice and snug. Next thing we can do is actually slide this whole piece into the car. All right, babe, so we're gonna install the first piece of the intake, which is this heat shield right here. And it pretty much lines up along this line with these 3 clips here. So we're gonna unclip the oxygen sensor right here. And that should just slide right on off. We can find some space to put these little clips on here, so we can line one up. So it should sit just like this. Really just sliding these on. Go one there, over here. And then one right here in this corner. Let's see if this works out. So this will slide on right here. Just like that. Not sure how much I trust this, not gonna lie. But if anything, I might just leave this piece off because I just don't trust the logistics of it. So with the grommets in, it kind of sits just like this right here. This might be okay. Might not be, not entirely sure. Because this could come forward more. But we'll see how it goes. We'll line it later. And I'm definitely taking this off because that's just gonna fall off. I can already feel it. Make sure you cover up your intake with some tissue or something like that. Make sure nothing gets in there while we're working on the intake setup. Now we're gonna take the heat shield and the math, slide it in place. So this goes right here. And hopefully we won't have to adjust these any bit at all. All right, so I took them out to get those grommets in there. They did not want to go in there at all. All right, next we're gonna slide the actual intake on. So remove this little paper here. And the shorter side will go down there, out the way. Shorter side with the small hose clamp will go right down there. So slide this on here. Slide this down here. Now everything should be on. And it's fitting much better now that I moved everything around. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tighten all these hose clamps down. All right, so next up we're going to install this little L bracket right here. So this is going to sit right here. Just kind of slide everything back just a little bit. It's gonna mount right here and kind of press into the heat shield just like that. So what we'll do here is we'll take these little fasteners here and we'll slide through there. Once it's in place, this little locker will slide through there, keep everything nice in place. And then we're gonna take some other screws and slide them through here, line up with that over there. Pretty much it's gonna be lined up just like that. We're gonna take the lock, gonna slide it right through here. And we grab a hammer real quick, take it, push it all the way through. Unless I've done something wrong here, it literally has hit the back of the walling. and it can't go in any further. So what kind of design is this? All right, so I had to readjust the grommets at the bottom. Instead of using those small bolts, I'm using this other medium-sized bolt. These are the same ones that go or bolt down the MAF sensor. It's a 5mm Allen wrench with a 10mm socket, and this one fits much better. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm not enjoying this process at all. So this goes in here. I'll get this tightened down real quick. And we can go ahead and install the piping again, which I had to take off because it wasn't working out properly. So we'll slide this over and we'll get this tightened down. All right, so last thing we'll do is install this ram intake right here, but this is a little part connected. So just take your fingers, pop that part out, put it to the side. And now this will simply just sit exactly where it was in the OEM spot. We'll slide it back under here. We'll get it bolted in and we'll slide this and connect it essentially. So, all right, so T25s, we're just gonna bolt it right down, pop this part back in here, and we're gonna put our top piece here. That's our air cushion, our air gap. We can actually go ahead and plug the MAF sensor back in while we're here. So switch that way, and this will just snap right back on in. It's honestly tugging a lot more than I want to. Ideally, it would be more back here. You guys tell me what's wrong with this setup, because I'm not liking it at all so far. All right, so last up, we're gonna add on these little air jammers or air gaps, and these are pretty much, why is this one so long? So then I'm gonna work this one down this way. Down my air jammer on this side. Slowly but surely making this way down. This is sliding down nicely. All right, and this will kind of lay into here. Work a little bit, and that'll be good. Have our little air jammers there. All pretty snug. And yeah, I like how it's looking. All right, let's clear the area and start it up, see how it sounds. All right, so yeah, this is how it's looking right now. That was a cold start, that's why you can hear the turbo spool up, but now it's idled down and no rattling, and it looks pretty good to me. Have my air jammers on this side right here, on the top, and everything fits in pretty smooth. It's just the alignment right here is kind of off. Not my favorite thing, but I think it's good enough. So the intake is now on. It actually sounds like a Pro Charger almost. It doesn't sound like how I would think a traditional turbo would sound. It's like an actual airplane. And this is just casual driving. I'm not sure how well you guys heard that, but I don't know. It sounds like a nice little a mist or something. Every time you're on the throttle, you just hear it spooling up, which is pretty cool. And it's even louder when I let down the window, so let's see how it sounds. Now, I hope you guys can hear that because it sounds pretty freaking cool. And it would sound even cooler with like a turbo muffler delete or the blow-off valve adapter or spacer. So you really hear the blow-off valve really. All right, so the intake sounds absolutely amazing. Got it on probably a smooth hour and 30 just because of the technical difficulties. But like I said, it sounds great. is actually quieter than I expected, but that just means we need the turbo muffler delete as well as the the blow-off valve as well. So we'll get those put on there as well at some point in time, and this will be a beast of a car. But yeah, if you have any questions about the intake or the car in general, just drop it down in the comment section below. I'll link the CTS intake in the description as well. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit a like as well as subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. Other than that, thanks for watching.